Did you do a prenup and do you recommend it?
Have you had any work done?
They're actually asking what your job is.
And how do you feel about us sharing your intimacy?
So, hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I have a special guest today, my husband.
Hello, my husband.
Yeah, we're gonna do a Q&A today because it's been a while. We have a few new people here and some people that are coming from Instagram, and I did an open question on Instagram to just kind of ask us anything. So we're gonna try to answer things we haven't answered before, and I think we got some pretty good questions in here.
Good.
What do you value most about each other? That's a really loaded question, but I think one thing I value the most about Ryan is his patience. He's just taught me so much, and I don't want to say I'm a slow learner, but I ask a lot of questions. I try to fully understand before I take off with something.
I can have patience for people I care about.
Okay, yes.
Probably how nurturing and loving you are. Very selfless and making sure that everything is taken care of. I'm happy, everyone around is happy, and all the stuff that she knows that I don't do around here gets done.
Like you have clean undies.
Yeah, clean undies and throwing away the undies with the holes in them, even though those are my favorite.
Did you do a prenup and do you recommend it?
We did not do a prenup.
That didn't even cross my mind.
Well, you usually do a prenup. The party's coming to the table with some massive out of balance state of finances.
But even then it's totally up to you.
Yeah. But no, we didn't. We met when we didn't have anything. No, we don't have a prenup. If you spent 15 years building up something amazing and the man or woman that comes along, you love them, but obviously
you have to protect
you gotta protect what you made.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a family before that. Maybe you gotta protect their future.
That's true. Brian, you button my hair into the button.
You have to button it.
You button my hair into it. I'm like, what is this pulling? It's my hair stuck in the button.
It's not my fault, you're hairy. Is this your forever home? No. We came into this house knowing this would not be our forever home. We have visions of the forever home, and it's not this home. This is a great in-between home that we can work on and have many projects on and have great life in until we get to forever home.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun in this house for sure doing projects, and a lot of people, because I mentioned this on my Instagram, and people were like, if this isn't your forever home, and why are you investing so much in it? Why are you doing so much to it? And just because it's not our forever home doesn't mean we're going to be here for maybe 8 years, you know, and we're trying to up the resale value, and we're just having fun with it. So, even though it's not forever home, it's not like a temporary home either. We're not going to be out of here in 6 months.
Yeah, this is a minimum 5 years.
Yeah.
We'll be here. And we got a really good price on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's already went up in value, and all these things that we're doing to it, we're not gonna overly improve it. We're not
fixing it up.
Putting hardwood in the bedroom or getting a pool.
You gotta go.
Sore subjects.
This person really wants to know about our fights. So this person asked 4 questions. Have you guys ever broken anything in a fight? Have you guys ever gotten into a physical fight? What is the worst fight you guys had, and how did it end? And how do you solve problems?
Let me read all these stipulations of the question.
Have you guys ever broken anything in a fight? No. Our fights are how we're talking to each other right now.
Yeah. If you're breaking things and having physical fights, you're not mature enough to be in a serious relationship.
Yeah.
Emotionally mature enough.
That's not what I would call maybe norm, in the norm, normal. So if you're in a relationship like that, definitely seek family members, seek close friends, and I would open up to them. And I definitely don't want to be the one to tell you end it, leave, but maybe confide in a few people and closest people and get some feedback on that.
Our fights are conversations. And if the conversation is a disagreement, then we just separate for 20-30 minutes. Have you had any work done? You're so beautiful. So this is something that when Ash and I first met, I was pretty convinced that she had a nose job.
So is everyone. Everyone always asks. I always get asked in my DMs.
It's just so perfect.
If I've had a nose job.
It's so perfect.
And I'm like, no, I haven't. And then they call me a liar. I'm like, Why would you ask me
Well,
if you don't believe me? Also, my nose moves when I talk, so I think, and that's not normal. I've come to find out a lot of people actually pointed out in my DMs that my nose moves when I talk. And I notice it now, and
you guys are detectives. I don't know.
And it drives me
I've never
crazy.
noticed that.
It's pretty obvious once you like sit and look at it.
Sharing expenses. Yes. So you do that.
What's the question?
Sharing-
Oh, just sharing
sharing
expenses.
expenses.
Yes. Here's a better rendition of that question.
Okay.
How do you split your expenses? Has it changed since you've gotten married?
Probably changed a little bit, but we've shared finances since like third or fourth year we were together, I think.
I have credit cards for my business. Ryan has credit cards for his business, but it all comes out of the same pot, if you will.
Yeah.
So.
We review things we just talked about yesterday. We had a mini finance meeting to talk about some things. More transparency, the better.
Do you guys fart in front of each other?
Hell yeah. Or like 30 seconds ago, you guys didn't know.
I mean, I'm not like, hey Ryan, listen to this one, you know, but I'm not like a super gassy person, I guess. Ryan is very gassy.
Not all the time. I have gassy moments. Look, there's some times where you literally are like a truck stop, like driver. Like literally, you're stopping for getting diesel and you're just eating some fast food at the gas station. That's literally what it's like. So
I'm like red. Does the larger house make you spend less time together? Yes.
Yeah.
And it's so nice.
That's a good thing.
It is such a good thing. For work, we need that separation. I mean,
Yeah.
like, you just do.
After 8 years in tiny apartments, well, one of them not so tiny, but most of them really tiny, where every single day you're waking up and elbow to elbow with that person for the whole day, it's definitely a nice experience to like walk to the office and then you like text, you can go see that person.
I'll text
inside.
him and I'm like, I miss you.
Yeah, like come upstairs and see them hang out. Just having that separation is really good.
Yeah, it's been so nice.
Is that the battery?
No, it's the hot. Camera's getting hot. How to budget for personal wants.
I guess in our circumstance right now, like we have a lot of wants with what we want to do to the house. And the best way that we've handled that so far is we make big spreadsheets and list it all out, because you can't get what you want unless you like have a good description of what even that is.
You need to be able to physically see it on a screen
Yeah.
to understand like how much do we need to either, you know, cut back to save up for this personal want, or how much do we need to save a month for this personal want? Because like, do you need Netflix? Do you need, you know, your smoothie subscription that comes every month? So it's like, we're very open and honest with like, hey, I would really like X, Y, and Z. Is there any way like we can, you know, save up and make that happen? Like I would never just, you know, go buy like a $2,000 Gucci bag without coming to Ryan first, not for permission, but because we share finances, like that wouldn't be fair to him. Just like if he were to go buy something crazy expensive, like that wouldn't be fair to me because that's our money. So with any personal wants, we make sure that the other person is aware and try to figure out if it makes sense and how we can make it happen.
Yeah. Setting the target. Like that's the first thing. If you want to buy a house, how much is the house? Like what are all the expenses of the house? Like what's the property taxes and all that nonsense. And then you can set a target, or you can set a plan around the target of like, all right, how can I make that happen? That's how. And it might be cutting back, like Ash said, it might be figuring out what you can do differently to afford, things like that. But it's never just like, I want that thing, go buy that thing.
Yeah.
Unless it's like, I don't know, $20 lawn chair at Walmart.
I just got that. I was like, I'm getting a lawn chair.
I was born to flex. Yes.
We're just gonna cut out milk for that one.
A lot of people were actually asking what your job is.
We're married, so we own things together. I've had a digital marketing agency since a long time ago.
Since before we met.
Yeah, since like 2008. About 2 years ago, one of our really good friends, the tallest guy at my wedding, Gary, we have a portfolio of pet supply companies. What's your favorite random thing to do together?
Oh, I love when we meet for coffee in the middle of the day.
We do that almost every day.
We're like, coffee date? And then we like share coffee and
It is sharing coffee.
it's like a 15-minute thing, but we just kind of catch each other up on like, what's been going on today? What do you have for the rest of the day? What are we gonna watch tonight? And we share.
And it usually ends with like, okay, snuggles and scratch tonight.
How to grow with your partner as opposed to growing apart. For example, the same beliefs over time. I think it's like having conversations.
It's definitely having open and honest conversations and asking real, like, what am I trying to say? Not asking a question with like the outcome you want already made up, but really asking a question to see how that person views it and seeing it from their eyes as well.
And I don't want, like, something that I don't want is for you to change your beliefs and your values just because you're so scared to grow apart. I will say right now, like my boyfriend that I had in high school and most of college, you know, we grew apart as we moved to a bigger city and we both just let it happen. You know, I was not about to change myself for him. He was not about to change himself for me. And now we're just two totally different people. And I've met someone who I am way more aligned with and am way happy with. And, you know, same for him. So it's like, don't be afraid also to grow apart because that's what your 20s, I'd say like your 20s and your early 30s are for, is like figuring out who you are. And don't let the fear of like not being with this person that you love so much anymore scare you from being your true self.
There's a massive difference between 20 years old, 25 years old, 30 years old, all those spans of 5 years, like massive difference in who you are as a person and what you experience and how you view things. So having those conversations along the way with different people with different opinions will definitely help be able to have those conversations with your spouse too, because you never want to be in an echo chamber of talking in only one conversation, you're hearing only the same opinion, and everybody's saying like this is the way it is. It's a horrible way to experience life in general.
And on that same note is how to increase vulnerability and connection with your husband or boyfriend. And something that we do is we create like a very safe space for one another. So if I'm having like an issue with something that Ryan is doing, or he's doing something that's bothering me, or it's not sitting right with me, I'm like, hey, you know, I really need to talk to you. And he creates a very safe space, a very non-judgmental, no interruptions, no yelling, and he lets me talk and he really sees like where I'm coming from. And I think like creating that space for one another, because you should never be afraid to talk to your significant other about a certain topic and vice versa. You should always create that comfortable space for each other to be open and honest about anything.
Absolutely. A place you can start from with this is really practice the art of not being offended by things. If you really get good at not being offended by anything, you can have very open and honest, vulnerable conversations with the people you're closest with. And they can do the same to you without fear of you getting upset.
And reacting on emotion. Like, you know, set your, and I'm not saying, God, because last time I said this, someone was like, so we're not supposed, no, like, it's okay to feel emotions, right? I mean, don't act on emotions. So like, if Ryan comes to me and he's like, hey, you're doing this thing that's bothering me, and I just like blow up without, you know, letting it sink in and being, you know, asking questions, then it's like acting on emotion just kind of like squashes the safe space, you know, because you want your partner to come to you with anything and vice versa.
Exactly. For Ryan, how do you feel about Ash sharing your intimacy?
On the yellow way.
See, this is something where I feel like me as just who I am, I don't mind it at all. I'm not mad. That type of content has a place and it helps people in general, so why would I be mad if it was talked about?
How do you learn to do discussions and fights well? I'm still afraid, avoid them altogether. Just like we said, create the safe space and it won't turn into a fight.
Yeah.
And there are definitely times that we've gotten heated for sure, you know, because or we'll raise our voice and the other one's like, hey, is there a reason you're raising your voice? Do you need to raise your voice? And not in a condescending way, just like, hey, you're raising your voice.
Yeah.
It's like, scale it back. Has Ryan stepped back a bit from assisting you? Say definitely yes. Yeah.
In New York, it was just her and myself for so many years We had help too, but like I would film everything that we did wherever we went, places all over the city and stuff like that. And now that we're here in Texas and even a little bit older in New York, the last year I didn't have as much time to do that anymore with all the other things that we had going on.
Do you feel after Iris was a successful launch, would you change anything? Yes and no. It was successful in a sense that we sold out of everything in under 2 days, but we should have been more prepared and not sold out.
We sold out in like 3 hours.
Well, we had a few things left over the next day.
We had some that the warehouse found and stuff.
That's
like,
true. That's
we were
true.
sold out.
But I wish I had been more prepared, and I know selling out is like a great thing, but I never want to run out of inventory. I always want to have inventory. So it was definitely a success in that it sold out, but it's kind of a bummer at the same time because a lot of people were like super frustrated they missed out, and now we have to wait over a month to like get a new order, but it's almost finished, and I'm really trying to make sure that we constantly have things in stock for future seasons as well. So how do you buy gifts for each other when you already have everything, or buy it yourselves already? We do more like experiences.
Yes, I love experiences more than just physical things.
If there's something that's like sticking out, like I was talking about getting a scooter for so long. I wanted one for over a year, and Brian got me a scooter, and I was so happy and so surprised. Or the time for Valentine's Day, I got us TV trays because I mean it's probably what, like 20 bucks, but we always go to the couch and eat with our plates.
Those made the experience of eating
Yeah.
dinner while
So
watching TV.
it's just more of like the thoughtful things. Like it doesn't have to be some big extravagant.
And this
physical
past
thing.
weekend, she gave me my birthday gift, which was the experience of going and riding ATVs in this big ranch. So
Yeah,
very, very
making
cool.
memories,
Blast.
and even like a dinner, like going to dinner.
Yeah. I
Cooking a
love
nice dinner at home, setting up candles, like doing something just out of the norm, I think is always like a great experience as well. How do you make time for sexy time, and how does it actually happen?
How often does that actually happen?
I can't read.
Well-
A lot of people ask if we planned intimacy, like on Wednesdays.
No, that's a little strange.
It's not strange if you have like kids and stuff, and it's
That's
like
true. We don't have that experience yet.
Yeah.
But right now,
it just
it
happens.
just kind of happens. Like 4 times a week. Something
That's
like
about
that.
an average week, sometimes more, sometimes less. How did you decide that you want to become an influencer? I guess when I started my YouTube channel, I wasn't thinking that it was going to become, like I wasn't like, this is what I'm going to do, you know, or I really started my YouTube channel because I generally just enjoyed filming content, editing, posting, connecting with people online, and it's just kind of turned into like it just happened. It wasn't something that I had initially like planned on, and like that was my end goal, I guess.
More about fashion.
Yeah, because I started my YouTube channel doing hair and makeup, which I have no idea.
No, your hair stuff has always been.
Yeah,
really
but makeup, I'm a little out of my wheelhouse. But then people started asking like, well, what are you wearing? What is that? And I'm like, maybe I should start doing fashion videos.
Yeah.
Because that's what that was my main interest anyways.
But once it started to get traction, that's when it was like, okay, let's look at this as what are the potentials.
Yeah, gotta make a plan at that point. I finally decided to quit my job because I would be like at my job, and then I would have to like jump in the bathroom to like talk to like L'Oreal, you know, this YouTube video, da da da, and then I'd have to jump back into my job, and I always felt like I was living this double life. So then I was like, okay, I gotta sit down. Like, am I financially stable enough to quit my job? Like, when can this happen? Because I was really getting overloaded, and it was a really hard decision. Loved like the hustle of going to a job, so it was a really hard decision to make to quit that job and pursue the unknown of YouTube and Instagram. So it was a weird one. Do you see yourselves only living in Texas from now on? We were just talking about this.
Just yesterday, when we were talking about,
And today.
and today,
Yeah.
we were talking about budget. The answer is no. We will not just be only Texas. We definitely want to have a place in New York, mid-coastal.
An apartment in New York right now would be a total waste of money, just because we're at the house and we have so much going on in terms of like renovating that it just wouldn't make sense now financially, or using it enough. So.
Yeah. Not the right time now, but that is the ultimate.
Yeah, we would love that. Oh, someone wanted to know how long we've been together.
10 years?
I think about 10 years.
I think it is 10 years.
It's either 9 or 10 this year.
I'm gonna go with 10. Round numbers.
That's when you've been together for a long time, so when you don't even know how long it's been. You've lost track over the years. A lot of people asking when we're having kids, and we are actually shooting a having kids only video together.
Tomorrow.
We're shooting that tomorrow? That's tomorrow?
This is one.
And that is gonna go live next week, I believe. So we are shooting a video just talking about having kids and kind of where we're at and what's going on. You mentioned that this is not your forever home. How does your forever home look? We would like a lot of land. I know for sure we want land, and we want to be a little bit more out there in like the country. Lots of land. We would love to be able to have like horses, and that is just like our forever home like plan. We just want a lot of space, a lot of privacy, like where you have to take the golf cart down to the mailbox type house.
I think it's got like mixed French countryside vibes.
Yeah, I love that. I don't know if I want my forever home to be a 2-story home actually. I would say like a one-story.
A larger one-story.
One-story, yeah. You know, we have a Pinterest board that we share of like really cool things that we want, and definitely more windows.
Lots of windows.
Lots of natural light, lots of like floor-to-ceiling windows. I think sounds so amazing. So that's more of like what our forever home would feel and look like.
What's your favorite thing about the new house?
I think just like the space. I mean, space to like cook in the kitchen, space to having my own space. I've never had. Like I've never had like an office just for myself, and I think same with you. So it's nice to have like privacy from one another. Like if I want to like relax and take a bath, I can do that without having to hear Ryan on a call in the other room, or like working out or something like that. I think that's just been like life.
Space is probably like the biggest overarching thing, and then
the gym. Oh, someone asked if the gym is too black, not black enough.
you can always say not black enough. How often do you do date night or spend quality time together every week? Date nights are Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays. So usually every Wednesday, movie night.
We do popcorn, snacks, movie, maybe some wine. And we make it on Wednesdays because it's like the middle of the week slump. So then Wednesday is like something to look forward to. And we'll go out to dinner and stuff, but we just really enjoy like cooking together, picking a movie, like getting in our sweats, especially after like a long day of work. So
Yeah. Pro tip though, you gotta pre-plan that movie selection. Everyone knows the grind of like scrolling through Amazon, Netflix.
what was the Wednesday that it was very recent. We did not pre-pick a movie, and we spent our entire date night looking for a movie and then ended up just going to bed at 9:30.
I will say, I feel like an old man. I get very tired once I'm in bed and it's like 9:30, 10. It's like the eyes slowly start to shut.
Why do you like that?
I don't know.
How do you deal with each other's insecurities?
You be supportive.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, is like not to be like upset or judgmental. I think just like being a support system.
And listen.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last thing the other person wants to hear is like, don't be stupid, that's nothing, I told you so many times, don't bring it up. Like, nobody wants to.
Do you ever get shy or awkward to talk to Ryan about something in particular? Definitely. Not so much now, just because we have so many years under our belt that okay, come on in.
Let yourself in, lady.
I've kind of run out of things to be shy and awkward about, but definitely there have been times like in our first, second, third, fourth year of being together that it's just like kind of awkward or embarrassing, or just being vulnerable and opening up about insecurities and like, so yeah, I think those are just growing pains, I believe. It's not like that forever. So if you're kind of in that stage, be brave, get through it, and it'll pass. Probably same for you, I'm guessing.
Those are good tips. Anything you've learned about real estate / owning a home that you wished you knew before?
Oh my gosh.
There's so many things.
We could write a book.
So many little things. Here's some little things just off the top of my head. So, and this isn't for everybody. This is like in our case because of this neighborhood that we live in, but we have an HOA in this neighborhood and it's gated. And apparently trash pickup from waste management.
Oh God, Ryan.
We have to pay over $100 a month to have our trash picked up. News to me. Nobody told me.
Ryan was about to put the boxes back on the moving truck and move out because he found out last minute that we had to pay, which is ridiculous. Yes, but
over $1,000 a year to have your trash picked up.
We almost had to move out.
Usually in most cities, I think that's like included in your electricity or your water bill.
Yeah.
Like, it's like little line items and it's very non-consequential. But ours were $100 a month.
Yeah.
And so that's something I found out after the fact when they stopped picking up our trash.
Yeah.
They're like, you don't have an account with us. I was like, what do you mean you don't have an account? Anyway, so that was new.
Ryan was trying to like fight the fee. Ryan,
I was trying to get a discount.
you're not gonna win this one. Everybody has to pay. But yeah, we were totally blindsided by that because that's a lot of money a month.
Yeah, when you're budgeting for your home payments and how you're gonna live, just throw an extra $100 in there. It's like, hey, that kind of throws my shit off, dude. Oh, now we're experiencing where you have to file for a homestead exemption with the property tax assessor to try and get your property taxes down because those are, especially in Texas, those are high. What else?
Get a great realtor.
Oh.
We had an amazing realtor, and I can't imagine like going through the shitty circumstance that we went through with the realtor who just like wanted to like hit it and quit it.
Yeah. I will say this, no matter what, like if you're dealing with a crazy seller like we were, get something from them to hold as like collateral, like while they're still in your house.
Yeah.
Because like we own the house.
And she's still
and
living
she
there.
wanted to lease it back from us for free, or if she didn't get it for free, she wasn't gonna sign the paperwork. But we just were like, yeah, whatever, we'll trust you. And her realtor.
Yeah, seriously.
And that was a horrible decision because she completely screwed up the house and stole things and
did so
cost
much
us a
damage.
lot of money.
Yeah.
We had no recourse.
That was a last minute thing. Like we had movers there and movers at our apartment in New York, and we're like, and then all of a sudden we get a text that's like, hey, she needs to lease the house back from you for another like 2 weeks. And we're like, we have movers at our apartment right now. And our realtor was like, no, you have to pay. Like the house is gonna be yours. She's gonna have to pay to lease it back from you. And we were like, all right, like I guess we'll just stay with Ryan's parents. My parents hop back and forth. Well, then she's like, I'm not paying, I'm staying here for free, or I'm not signing the paperwork. And so we were like,
we needed an extension because the closing date had passed.
Yeah, so we were like, well, I guess we don't really have a choice.
So that's on us. So if I could go back, I would have stipulated like, you will pay or deals off.
Yeah.
And we would have just,
we're not
I don't think she would have walked away.
I don't know.
I don't think she would have.
I don't know.
She needed to get out of this house.
We're not the right people to ask because our circumstance was like
a
little dramatic. So,
also, we know what I would do. Yeah.
Beginning of this year, you said you had health issues. Are you ready to talk about it now? That's right. I did say that I was having some health issues at the beginning of the year and wasn't ready to talk about it. And I will talk about it when Ryan and I sit down, and that will be in the video that we are going to be filming about having babies and whatnot. You have a love language. Yes, oh my gosh. Yours is Mine's physical. I like physical touch.
Mine is
Acts of.
like a mix of quality time and acts of service.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in there. I'm in those two.
Yeah. Mine's physical, in between physical touch and I think words of affirmation. We already do spend so much quality time together that I don't know what life is like without that quality time because, you know, but obviously I love quality time, but I think like acts of physical touch, like if I'm kind of feeling, because sometimes like I remember we would be taking this train sometimes, well we took the subway like wherever we went in New York, but sometimes when the trains are like really crowded, I would start feeling like a little bit of like anxiety, and I would remember Ryan would just kind of like put his hand on my shoulder or something and it would just immediately calm me. And like when we're out in public or when we're just at the house, if he's, you know, walks by me while I'm cooking and like, you know, touches, it just kind of like melts me. Like it's just one of my favorite things. And you don't even realize it, but.
Oh, I do. That's how we keep that 4 times a week going.
Who cooks more and how do you split chores? Ryan cooks his own breakfast, he makes his own lunch. I cook my own breakfast, cook my own lunch, but I cook dinner.
We all do like house maintenance together. That's more of like a family chore, like lawn stuff. Mowing the yard, weeding, watering the plants, but like making sure that the house is just taken care of.
You always take the trash.
Taking the trash.
You usually do the dishes.
I do a lot of dishes.
I do a lot of the like cleaning and inside maintenance and the laundry.
Unless there's a spider. Then
I can't talk about that.
It's crazy.
How has it been renovating your house together as a couple? Have you guys been able to resolve issues without any meltdowns? Someone else actually asked this, and you know, they asked this on another Q&A that we did, and like we've been working together for so long that honestly making house decisions and like renovating has been a total breeze. But trust me, we have been through our ups and downs working together. In the beginning, when we first started working together, I mean, it was like we couldn't get through a whole day without just being like, "Urgh." We've really learned to work well together, and we've learned how each other works, and I think that's how we've improved our communication so much. So fast forward however many years, like this has been super easy to do with you.
It's probably like the last 5+ years.
And we have the same vision for the house as well. So
we're very in tune with sharing Instagram pictures and accounts that have really amazing interior and exterior.
What is your dream retirement plan? I know it's far away, but you guys seem like planners. We are planners, but I don't think we've planned that far yet.
No,
Lots of dogs and
but also like when I think of retirement, I don't think of it in that context. Like retirement is
like the cliche retirement.
I don't think that we're the type of people. I don't think a lot of people in our generation are like the retirement type words. Like, all right, not doing any work, I'm just gonna sit in a chair and like play golf. That doesn't even sound fun. I think we'll always have businesses, we'll always be doing things and working. I think it's just part of our younger generation, like younger.
Watch 35 years from now, you're gonna be sitting in a chair and playing golf.
Screw that. I'll play some golf.
Ryan, do you feel protected by Ash like women should around men type of protected?
I don't understand.
I don't either.
Like you could like fight somebody.
That's
else
what I was
for me?
thinking. Cause no.
I feel protected in the sense of like this is my life partner and she's always gonna have my back and make sure that nothing happens to me that's within her control.
But like I couldn't.
But I don't think she's fighting any hobos in New York for me.
Listen, I have a taser and a mighty fish.
There was one in here that was good. How many times did you double jump?
Twice. That's all.
Once, twice, 3 times.
Nope.
No, just twice. Something that each of you missed from NYC and something that each of you discovered in Texas. Good question. What do you got?
What I missed from NYC and what I gained in Texas is the same thing but different. So I think in New York, like not being there anymore, I just miss like the feeling that I have of home. And just the feeling like overall of like walking out my apartment door and like just feeling like the energy, and there's just something about even like the smell of like walking out of my apartment and the sounds. And I miss that overall. Like that's probably just the biggest thing. Did you burp? Did you burp? It smells like eggs. What I've gained in Texas is a new feeling. So hearing the sound of the wind and the birds and seeing the deer in the morning, and it's just a totally different feeling. But I don't really feel like Texas is quite home yet. I still feel a piece of me still in New York, and like that's my home and I'm not home. But it's getting there, I think, and yeah, that's what I gained and miss.
I miss a lot of what you said, but I miss the vibe and the energy of being in the city. I miss the like winter time, like
I do too, man.
Even like September, like fallish, like walking out, like 50-degree air, like
and the smell of it too.
The smell of it, minus the like pee and poop smells. But
I even miss those.
And like walking to Soho from the apartment, getting cupcakes at little cupcake bake shop, like all those types of things. Getting cronuts, and just like walking, just like you feel the energy overall. I definitely miss that a lot. Getting here, I think I love the new morning routine that I have, where I get up, I go in the kitchen, a whole morning thing that I do, and then whenever Ash is up and Stella's ready to go out, we go out, and I go out barefoot into the grass, and I just like to walk in the grass barefoot for a little bit. So I love doing that. Couldn't do that really in New York. I also have loved running lately. Like in New York, I was never really into running. I don't think I maybe just didn't feel comfortable running in New York. I don't know why. But like,
it's not as free and open. Like you have to stop at lights, you have to deal with people.
Yeah, I think maybe that's it. I like not having to think about what's around me really. So I've been running a lot here in our neighborhood. So I like that. I like being outdoors a lot more here, just feeling the nature more, like the greenery, trees, grass, and animals.
All right, that was fun. I'll make sure and ask the questions more advanced, because I just asked the questions like 2 hours ago. We're gonna film that video tomorrow, and that's gonna be live actually after this one. This one will go live, and then the other one will go live. So stay tuned for that if you're curious or wondering, or maybe can relate to anything that we're talking about. But hope to see you there, and thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna go make some
I'm sore.
Hello.
Hi.
She's
Hey, why'd your breath smell like eggs?
Your burp smell like eggs.
You eat my eggs?